want to let you know that you don't have to stay stuck. But things won't change unless you do. The habits, the mindset, the behaviors that led you here are not going to take you to the next level. And we don't have to bullshit. Your movement practice isn't where you want it to be. You aren't as strong or as mobile as you'd like, and if we're being really honest, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Life feels a bit out of control. You aren't really clear on what you want, but you know that it's more than this. The problem is, when you let yourself think about it, you aren't confident that you can make it happen. And I know it because I lived it. You know, most days it was okay. I was getting by. But some days felt like absolute hell. And after years of searching and tens of thousands of dollars of coaching, therapy, courses, seminars, books, I finally managed to sort myself out. And at this point, it feels like deja vu. I see people around the world struggling with the same challenges that I was, the same challenges that you are now. And the people that I work with in my practice, they're, coaches, they're teachers, they are artists and entrepreneurs. Like, they are smart, they're talented, they are ambitious, and they're stuck. They're people like you. They want more strength, more mobility. They want freedom in their bodies to be able to embrace whatever challenges, whatever opportunities life brings. They want a deeper understanding of the mind and of the body so that they can have a better understanding of themselves. They want more balance. They want more time in nature. They want a greater sense of connection in their relationships. They just want to be human. And I see people like that week after week, and it never ceases to blow me away, but they get all of that. And they get so much more. It's possible. You can be the version of yourself that you most want to be. And I gotta be honest, if you have something valuable to share with the world, it's your responsibility to make it happen. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Chandler Stevens, and I created the practice of ecosomatics to help people make sense of their bodies and their lives, to help people become the version of themselves that they most want to be. In the rest of this video, I want to walk you through how you can make it happen. But in order to do so, there are a few things you need to understand about yourself. The first comes from somatic educator F.M. Alexander. And he said it beautifully. People don't decide their futures. They decide their habits. And their habits decide their futures. You can have the loftiest intentions and goals in the world, but it's the habits you cultivate that will determine where you end up. It's the behaviors you engage in and day out that make the difference. But you know as well as I do that that's not so easy. There's not some switch you can flip. There's not a checklist. It's not even anything you do. It takes a new way of being. So how do we make that happen? Well, behavioral psychologist Kurt Lewin said that behavior is a function of a person within an environment. And you know this intuitively. You act differently at different times, in different places, with different people. If you want to make a change in your life, you absolutely have to change your environment. We're creatures of context. But that's not all. In fact, that's not even the most important thing. Somatic educator Moshe Feldenkrais said, "We act in accordance with our self-image." You are limited by a narrow and fragmented view of yourself. The possibilities in your life are constrained by your self-image. And this isn't to say you can just think positive and change everything. No, you need to refine your self-image so that you have a more realistic, a more functional understanding of yourself in the world. Both your strengths and your weaknesses, the good and the bad. This isn't manifestation, your positive thinking, it's real. You have to refine your self-image if you want to make a change in your life. So self-image and environment are two of the big things that you absolutely must change if you want things to get better. And at the root of each of them is awareness. If you want to make a change in your life, you have to get really clear on what conditions you need in order to thrive. You need that true north, that North Star. You need some point on your compass that can guide your actions. You need to orient yourself toward that goal. So give yourself permission. Under what conditions would you thrive? This isn't about getting by. This isn't about doing okay. What do you need in order to be the most of yourself? And then you need to identify what you can do day in and day out to move toward that goal. And equally important, you need to determine what you're doing to hold yourself back. These are the fundamental changes that you must take in order to get to where you want to go. So, look, it does get better, but it does not get better on accident. I can guarantee you that. These things spiral downward if you don't address them, but when you do, life opens up. I mean, it feels like a 180. My clients will tell you that. There's Lauren, who was a Pilates instructor, and before we started working together, she was dealing with chronic pain that had just spiraled into an identity crisis. And after working together, she got through her pain, she got a better sense of self, she left therapy, she started her own coaching practice, and she found newfound ease and peace in her relationship with her husband. Or there's Damien. We were working together and he overcame long-term injuries and mobility restrictions from a plane crash so that he could get back into ski instruction. And in his spare time, he's starting a health village in the Swiss mountains. An impressive guy. Or there's Erica. And she overcame long-term mobility issues and struggles with self-confidence, moved into a beautiful new home, and started her dream job, bringing yoga to cancer survivors. Or Mary, who found more sense of self, more comfort in her own skin, moved across the country to fully dive in to her passion for acting. Everything in your life can change. You can change your body, you can change your mind, you can change your life. And it takes these three things. You must refine your self-image. You must intentionally change your environment in a way that supports you. And you have to get really clear on where you're going compared to where you are now, so that you can orient and direct your actions. It doesn't take another book. It doesn't take another workshop. It doesn't take another seminar. You've tried enough of that already, right? It takes a deeper, more personalized approach. The plasticity of the human organism, it just gives me chills. Everything about you can change. Everything. But it takes courage. It takes real courage. And if you have something to offer the world, you owe it to the world to make that change. I'd love to support you. Send me a message. Let's make it happen.